Hi guys, thanks for coming back to the channel. Just wanted to make a quick video in regards to the interview with Jamie Dimon, the CEO of JP Morgan, where he pretty much calls Bitcoin a fraud, that people should stay away from it. And this is a very interesting interview because JP Morgan is one of the companies behind the Enterprise Ethereum Alliance. So I don't know what to make out of it. What's the reason behind this statement that the Bitcoin is a fraud? But it is a very worrying statement, simply because this is powerful people and they can have an effect on the price of Bitcoin and in the general population. So here it is. We can clearly see that Bitcoin has suffered even further, under $4,000. We haven't seen Bitcoin under $4,000 for quite some time. And I'm sure the latest news in regards to China buying the ICOs and then possibly the exchanges, and now JP Morgan CEO coming with this is not helping our case. But let's hear what he has to say.
Yeah. Why is Bitcoin a fraud?
Yeah, so separate blockchain, which is a technology, from Bitcoin, the currency. And now there are multiple currencies, and so I'm talking about not Bitcoin per se, I'm talking about currencies. The first, and the reason, and I'm not saying go short, because I know Jim Chanos was up there. Bitcoin can tell $100,000 of Bitcoin before it goes down. So this is not a advice on what you do. My daughter bought some Bitcoin and it went up, and she thinks she's a genius now. But it's I did refer to it as like the tulip bulb crisis of the 1700s, whatever. But here's the reason: governments, the first thing they do is form a currency. They like to control the currency. They control it through a central bank. They also like to know who has it, where it is, where it's going. Okay, and you just saw China just is closing down the Bitcoin exchanges. And what all I ever said is that at Bitcoin, the bigger these things get, the more governments right now they look at it as a novelty. They love in Washington talk about this technology. We love technology. Wait until someone gets hurt. Wait until it's used for illicit purposes, which it is somewhat used for illicit purposes. They close it down. That's my point. So it's not. You can argue and I also think there's a good reason for it. If you're in Venezuela or Ecuador or North Korea, you're better off probably using Bitcoin than using their currency. It can't possibly be true in the United States, unless you're speculating. And that isn't a reason to say something has value, because other people are going to speculate. That's tulip. And that's what I was saying. So I don't think, and also, like I said, the other reason to close down is because it's used for illicit purposes. And so it's just not a real thing, and eventually it'll be the emperor without clothes.
Alright guys, so here it is, the actual, well, this is short, obviously just the answer in regards to why he thinks Bitcoin, but actually he said he's not saying per se the Bitcoin, but in general the cryptocurrency. But one thing is for sure that now Bitcoin and cryptocurrency is worth so much more money, and the government is definitely much more interested, and this is the reason why we're seeing governments cracking down on it, wanted to control it more and whatnot, and simply because even now one Bitcoin worth $4,000, where a few days ago or a week ago or whatever, it was up to $5,000 one Bitcoin. So obviously they want to know who has them, what they're doing with it, and all these things. But it is likely that, and I've said this before, if it keeps growing and growing, the government's going to get more and more interested. And this is the reason, guys, we must never forget, we should never put all our eggs in one basket. Now, I'm not saying people should start selling their Bitcoins. So obviously you are smart enough people to decide what to do with your money and your cryptocurrency. But one thing is for sure, that I personally never put all my eggs in one basket, and this is why I have different investments. I have the BitConnect, I have Genesis Mining, I have mining rigs. I am cashing out some of my profits into fiat, possibly buying gold with it and things like that, because I'm looking to have diversification. Simply because, as he said it in the video, tomorrow the government just could say, that's it, shut it down, and we could be done. So it's all fun and games to hold and keep saying to yourself, look at how much money I have. But we must remember that they are not money unless they are obviously converted into money, because in the real world, at least until now, still, the real money is actually the actual fiat currency. Of course, we could purchase a lot more things these days with cryptocurrency, but when it comes to purchasing houses, cars, and in general other valuable stuff, it is unlikely we're going to be able to buy it with cryptocurrency. And yeah, we're probably gonna need fiat. So you're gonna definitely gonna have to watch on this, guys. It is in a way an alarming issue, because obviously we can see more and more people talking about it. It is bringing the attention of obviously the governments around the world. I am sure soon they're gonna start popping up laws and things to control it even further than they are right now. And yeah, what can I tell you? It is it's a reminder never to put all our eggs in one basket, possibly invest in different things, and not just holding cryptocurrency, and possibly cash out some into fiat. At least, guys, if you have investments like myself, what my personal goal is to, at a certain point, at least get my investments back. Make sure I get my my hard-earned money, which I've invested into programs, into mining rigs and whatnot, get them back into my bank account, because this is hard-earned money I've earned somewhere else. Although I've earned quite a lot in doing cryptocurrency, but still, it was a value I invested, which I had it, so I was looking at as it being worth in fiat. I'm trying to get this money back into my bank accounts as a fiat. Once I get everything and I'm happy with the the money I've got back, at that point probably I'll start holding much more than what I'm holding right now into actual cryptocurrency, simply because, as we can see, anything could happen, guys. Governments are so powerful that anything could happen. We wake up tomorrow and suddenly we can't sell Bitcoin anymore, or we may have to go through hoops to sell it, or possibly pay 50% of what it's worth to being able to cash it out or whatnot. So it is an interesting video. I'll put a link in the description. You can go and check it out. But if you put, as you can see, JP Morgan Bitcoin fraud, there's so many videos of it that is coming out, obviously with the statements. But this, I think, is the main video, and it's a short video, as you've seen, that you can watch it. It is disappointing because, again, as I said, this is the same JP Morgan that they are backing up the Ethereum enterprise and all these things. And to come up with a statement like this is a powerful man. I mean, there could be some people not knowing who JP Morgan is, but that is a powerful bank. They have a lot of influence when it comes to the to the money. So let's see how this is going to affect us, people who are involved with cryptocurrency, trying to change our life. Let me know what's your opinion on it down below. And if you heard, by the way, what he was talking about, the tulip, there was something back in the days where there was that hype around the tulip worth so much money, but then people realized it's worth nothing. So a lot of people lost a lot of money. So just put the tulip. Let's see, tulip fever. Let's say, was it fever? No, tulip fever is not. It had to do something with tulip money. Let's say put tulip money. I don't know. I don't remember exactly. It was back in the days, the fever, the bubble, the tulip money. There it is, the tulip mania. So that's what he was referring to when he was talking about Bitcoin. I think obviously Bitcoin has much more value than the tulip, and I'm not quite sure why they're always referring back to the tulip money, but simply because it was a bubble where it went being worth so much money, and then all of a sudden it was worth nothing. People lost so much money into it, but tulip didn't have any purpose really. But hey, there you have it. I'll put a link in the description to this one as well. You can come and read it if you haven't ever read about it. Thanks for watching, guys. So yeah, let me know, what do you think? Is the guy actually right? Bitcoin is a fraud, or is Bitcoin the real deal? We can all learn from each other. Thank you for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you are, feel free to subscribe and share if you haven't already. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.